What does it take to create something that never existed before? What does it take to challenge the status quo? What does it take to change the world? This is the Swell Podcast. We're passionate about the seed of an idea and how it swells into a movement. Take a journey with us as we seek the answers to those three questions through the stories of thought leaders, world builders, game changers, disruptors, and other pleasantly rebellious humans who've ventured out into the unknown on a personal journey to do something novel, innovative, creative, or disruptive. Today, in the spirit of creating something new, in addition to our longer format guest interviews each season, we wanted to sprinkle in some shorter interviews with startups and various members of Kiln, our podcast partner, where they can share their own stories and experiences of fiery formation and growth from inside the kiln. Today, we're featuring Spencer from the company Cardagraph. Cardagraph is a productivity data platform where they seek to empower the manager of the future and make teams more productive automatically. Be sure to like and subscribe to the podcast, sign up to our newsletter at theswellpod.com, and get in on the conversation through all of the major socials at theswellpod. Thanks for tuning in. We hope you enjoy.
So Spencer, tell us about Cardagraph. Tell us what your mission is. And kind of the why, and why it's different from others.
Yeah, for sure. So one of our big company things is trust. So across the board, obviously, personally, company wise, and everything like that is trust. So what we do is we help to identify inefficiencies and bottlenecks within your companies through different sorts of data, and this helps managers better trust their teams better trust their managers. And so on and so on. So we really are big believers in trust and increasing productivity and efficiency through that, through software, really is what we do.
All right, cool.
How did Cardagraph come to exist? Like, how did the whole thing start? Like,
yeah. So super crazy. So we knew that there was a problem kind of in the way the business was done. So about 2.5 years ago, my co-founder Bentley and myself, we actually started a task management platform, thinking that may kind of help do the trick of increasing productivity, increasing trust levels, increasing communication. Then we realized everyone and their freaking mother does task management systems. So why would we do that, right? And we didn't have anything super special, cool stuff, but not super special. But we did come to find out through different iterations of that product is that we were really onto something with the data analytics side of task management. And so we kind of took that, iterated a little bit and ran with it. And so now we connect via API into every single tool where work is done, really. So you can say, Slack, Asana, Gmail, Trello, Salesforce, HubSpot, GitHub, all these different tools we connect with. We pull that data out. Like I said, we really found the analytics side of things to be super helpful to other people. So we pull all that out and we run analytics and different types of processes in our system.
With that's awesome. With COVID, are you getting requests for different insights that you weren't getting before, or what's that been like for you guys?
Yeah, so we've been like super blessed with COVID because what our tool does is it really gives people insight and visibility into their remote workforce. So things like understanding, where bottlenecks are as people are working from home, understanding where inefficiencies are as people are working from home, and then also being able to put that side by side to before COVID. So we pull all historical data and analytics, no matter when you jump on. So we can pull pre-COVID stuff, put it up next to COVID stuff, and really identify how to make people happier, how to make people more productive from home.
Yeah, that's great. And you mentioned happier. That word kind of stuck out to me. Can you elaborate a little bit? Like, what do you mean happier? Like, having the insights, I can imagine for the people who get them, that might make them happier, but help me understand what you mean by that.
Yeah. So it kind of, I really think that software should make people's lives better. And so our software is not exempt from that, obviously. And so being able to, as a manager, however high up you are in the company, being able to understand where people fit the best is super crucial, right? In our company, for example, we've got 10 employees. And one of my big focuses is to make sure that everyone's in the right position, the position they want to be in and the position they thrive in. And so those are things that we're able to identify, where people are thriving, and give them more of the work that they're good at so that they can feel more fulfilled over time.
No, that's great. And so what's the future for Cardagraph? Like what big problems are you trying to tackle, and where are you headed?
Yeah. So the biggest overarching problem that I would say that we're tackling is insight. Insight across the board, insight into how your processes work, insight into how your people work, insight into, making sure that you're profitable on specific projects. But the future of Cardagraph, honestly, you guys wouldn't even believe me if I showed you our goals and our future. But with this data, all these types of data are not really being used right now. The BI tools out there like Tableau and Domo really aren't using this data like we are. They're not automating it. They're not finding new ways to use it. So, for example, we started, like I said early on, with just all this data and all this analytics, and we had to figure out what to do with it, right? We knew that we were the only ones using it, but we had to figure out what to do with it. So we have a list of all the things that we can do with this data that's pretty proprietary that no one else can do. And it's got hundreds of things on it, and we've explored about 2 of them. But long term, we really just want to make an impact on how people work, how the world works, right? Make people more efficient, make managers better, and make people, happier and trust their work that they're doing.
Yeah, that's great. And so probably the last question, unless Spencer also has one, but is there a call to action? And if so, or in addition to that, how do people get in touch with you? Help people find you, I guess.
Yeah, love it. I'm all for you guys helping out with our marketing, and I'd love to help you guys out as well. It's just hello@cardagraph.com. So hello at Cardagraph, it's CARDAGRAPH.com. We typically work with larger companies, high growth companies. So enterprise like PayPal, GE, Brex, are kind of some of the customers that we work with. We also work with Seek, who's been at Kiln and grew at Kiln, and some other smaller high growth companies. So if people want to understand their company better, which I think everyone does through hard data, then it's hello@cardagraph.com.
Thanks for hanging out with us. We hope you enjoyed today's dive into the Kiln. Be sure to check out our longer form episodes, like and subscribe to the podcast, sign up to our newsletter at theswellpod.com, and get in on the conversation through all major socials @theswellpod. We'll see you next time.